Where is he? Is he staying with the Angels?
No.
If Mike Trout's not back by the All-Star break, I think he goes.
Omar Narvaez just hit a homer, guys.
Omar Narvaez.
Future Tampa Bay Ray.
We're back.
Future
in
Tampa
the
Bay
game.
Ray.
Future Tampa Bay.
Mets legend.
Mets legend Omar Narvaez. Tomas Nido. Chance Cisco. Remember he was
Another Duck now.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
Cisco.
Robert. Did we get Roberto Perez?
I think so.
Josh. I'm trying to name all of our bad catchers. Josh Tolley, Rene
Josh
Rivera.
Torrey.
Yeah, Darno for a little bit. He was
We had Wilson Ramos.
Wilson
He
and
was-
the
He
Buffalo.
was slow, but
I think he's also on the
Every time
Ducks
he
right
hit a
now.
ground ball to the hole in the shortstop, I'm like, oh, he's getting back.
yeah, it would have been like the Yankees hitting coach.
Nah.
New Sean Casey. Did you guys mention Sean?
Sean,
We actually have
yeah.
not. Wait, last week.
No,
I
we
think
did talk
Yeah,
about
talk
it.
about it
We
last
talked
week.
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
There was an audio clip. I don't have it with me at this point.
I think we played it
You played the audio clip?
of him
He
getting
literally
thrown out
goes-
from left field.
No, but there is an audio clip of Sean Casey going like, he goes, just you got to be more confident. Just hit the ball. And I'm like, you know, they're like, he's like, they're tense right now. You know, they're a little stressed. They just got to remove the stress and they'll play better baseball. Like, no kidding, Sean Casey. Like, what?
Yeah, that's what we
If
hired
that's-
him for.
If that's the advice, your advice is, yeah, just don't be stressed. You'll be good. Be confident. You're gonna hit the ball. What are you getting paid to do?
Hit the
Sit there,
ball.
rub their backs?
And get thrown out from left
Get
field.
thrown out from left
Yes.
field.
like what? The hitting coach is one of the most useless jobs because
Honestly,
Honestly,
is.
I do
Yeah.
agree.
whatever they do, these players, if they get hurt, they switch their swing. Already ruined.
Yeah.
On top of that, you're gonna tell? So, like, what do you tell Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani as a hitting coach?
Get
What do you
traded.
do if you're like, okay, let's just say it's like
Get traded.
a very bad, like Jeremy Hefner. I don't know if it's a pitching coach, but like the Jeremy Hefner of hitting coaches.
Mhm.
When you try to tell someone who's a Hall of Famer, guaranteed, you have to fix this in your swing. How do they not laugh in your face? You'll be like, I've done this in my career for so long, just for you to tell me to fix this. What do you know?
yeah,
That's what I'm
unless,
saying.
unless the hitting coach is like
Barry
Ken
Bonds.
Griffey Jr.,
Ken-
Barry Bonds. Even then,
When Barry
like,
Bonds was the hitting coach for the Marlins,
Marlins,
yeah.
he was with the Yelich, the Stanton,
He was the one that
Marcelo
basically
Zuna.
changed Yelich's career. Bonds did with like when there was like one certain drill he did, and next thing you know, he's MVP.
Like that's a person I'd listen to. When you have guys like, well, Sean Casey was very productive player, very good hitter. I just don't see the importance.
But he was he was a contact hitter though.
Career 302 hitter, by the way.
That's good.
Yeah, but no, I understand that. But in today's game of baseball, where it's all about home runs, how is he going to teach these guys how to? Again, it's more than just teaching guys what to do. It's the way you. I mean, the job of the hitting coach is to watch the little things that someone might not pick up on. But again, how is a guy who, again, great hitter in terms of contact, putting the bat on the ball, getting on base, but how is he going to be more productive in getting the power numbers up today?
Hit ball in air. Take steroids. Do more squats. That's all he can literally do.
hit it where they ain't.
Hit it where they're not.
They ain't
in the air.
Just,
Hit it to the fifth deck. You know?
it's like that MLB Network commercial a couple years ago where it's like with Carlos Gonzalez, I think it was Cargo.
Mhm.
Just like, how do you beat the shift? I hit it where they ain't, and they ain't in the bleachers.
We completely skipped over where do we think Otani's going?
Well, let's pick it up.
Shohei Ohtani,
I mean, I
you
know that I
are a
love him
Colorado
to
Rocky.
them.
Did you see the owner?
I did see that.
He
Yeah.
sent out emails saying
He didn't roll it out.
he's like, hey, we're not gonna rule out not trading for Shohei Ohtani.
I mean, they could get the revenue up for like 2 months.
Otani would hit bombs
In
Oh, yeah.
Colorado.
Colorado. He would also give up a ton of bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colorado.
It's honestly, that doesn't sound that bad.
He pulls the Rockies out
He
of the
pulls-
basement of the league.
They somehow get the wild card spot.
I think there's only really 3 contenders that actually trade for him.
Go for it.
Mariners, Orioles, and I don't think they're going to trade him to the Dodgers, so I'm going to take the Dodgers out. So Orioles, Mariners, Rays.
I actually
seem
have
to
a
me.
I have a dark horse actually for that.
Who is it?
Toronto Blue Jays. They need production in that DH spot.
What-
They have a decent pitching staff, but you could always improve your pitching.
Where?
What would they give up?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. What would they give up? Nate Pearson, you're gone.
Yeah, I
Easily.
think Pearson's probably one of the top guys you're looking at
Mhm.
going.
Probably Manoa.
Yeah, I could see Manoa going because he'd be replacing, or Otani would be replacing him in the rotation.
Otani. So I'm thinking like Nate Pearson.
Nate Pearson,
Manoa.
Well, Otani,
Manoa.
you wouldn't necessarily need to trade a pitcher to replace a guy in the rotation, because you would with Otani, you're gonna usually want a 6-man rotation.
Not really. He's been very good on the 5-man this year, wasn't he? Because Tyler Anderson. Wow, their rotation sucks. Griffin Canning, Otani, Patrick Sandoval. Is it Jaime Barria as a start? No, he's in the bullpen now.
I think it's like Jose Quijada, I think.
Jose Quijada. There's just not that many. Only 5.
Like, I think if the Yankees get him, they would run a 6-man rotation until the playoffs, then drop it down to 4.
I think, but yeah, if he goes to Blue Jays, I think you're looking at a package of Pearson, Manoa, and I wouldn't be surprised if they also trade Kevin Biggio in that as well. Because Biggio has not lived up to the hype as
Even still,
opposed to
that's
the other two.
I think that package just is nowhere near what the Orioles can give up.
I mean, I agree there.
The
but-
Orioles can literally just give up Grayson Rodriguez and like, I don't think they do this, but they give up Grayson Rodriguez and one of their countless top 100 prospects, and that would easily be a better package.
Yeah. I mean, again, I agree with you there, but I would not be surprised again. Toronto, I think it's just a good fit.
Like the Orioles have the chance right now to be one of the best teams if they spend money, but they only have a 60 million payroll. If they had the Mets money with these prospects,
The Rays too.
the Rays too, like if they actually spend money, they'd be one of the best teams ever. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Rays try to make a splash here with the player. They tried with Nelson Cruz a couple years ago, didn't work. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade for a starting pitcher with their injuries,
I could see
whether it be a
them-
Scherzer or Verlander.
I could see them more going for like a Giolito type.
A Giolito, he's
Yeah.
not that good this year, but yeah, maybe a Carlos Carrasco.
Maybe
There's
fix
rumors
him or
there.
something.
But yeah, the Rays are a dark horse. Orioles, Mariners are the Mariners. Padres, I don't think they'd ever trade into the Padres.
I mean, if there's a fit there, but it all depends on San Diego.
They're too far out. I wouldn't do it. So those are the 3 teams I have: Rays, Orioles, Mariners. Those 3 teams need him. They have the prospect capital.
If the Mets were to get him,
I would never. As a Mets fan, I don't want to trade for Ohtani
Yeah.
because we're way too far out of it to be even worth it. Unless I'm guaranteeing the fact that he signs an 11-year extension with us, there's no.
I feel like if you trade for Otani, you'd probably have to give up both Alvarez and Beatty. I feel like, and even
I would
then,
not-
I know you wouldn't want to do that.
I would
obviously.
not trade Alvarez unless I guarantee a contract extension.
Yeah,
You know, because this is a talent we haven't seen in
Years.
years from the catcher
Yeah.
spot.
I think
Good secondary.
I've
piece.
seen a lot.
he's
of
the only
mock
guy.
trades with that, though.
Otani is the only guy I would want to give up Dominguez.
I think you guys are overrate Dominguez. What has Dominguez done in the last 3 years since he was the next Mickey Mantle to prove his worth? He's done nothing. If he was the next Mickey Mantle, he'd be in the league by now.
Well, yeah, I can't argue that actually.
6-1.
6-1.
Why is he still pitching?
Just keep digging your grave.
Why is Drew Smith still pitching? What are we, Buck Showalter? What are you doing?
He's smoking something.
They did all that without a home run.
All of that without a homer, Andrew.
Yeah, there you go.
Granted,
If you're
The
looking
Mets
at
hit a home run.
hit a home run. Granted, error, single,
Yeah.
walk,
if
double.
you're looking at Otani getting
Hey, that
traded
went
to
to
the
homer for the
Yankees,
cycle of
though, you're giving up like Jason Dominguez, Anthony Volpe, because easily that's what the Angels are going to want. And then
I
you're
don't
looking
think-
at like
David Peterson comes
a
in.
top 10 starting pitcher prospect.
You guys don't have that. do you?
Exactly. We don't have that,
No.
but you're looking at
It would your trade package would be Volpe, Dominguez, Spencer Jones, whoever you drafted in the first round this year.
Anthony Siegler, probably the
Yeah.
switching catcher.
All gone. Austin Wells gone.
Yeah, just
Just everyone.
look. It's a nice dream to have, but wake up to reality.
There's like I said,
It's not gonna
there's
happen.
literally only like 3 teams that can make this trade, and I don't think they'll do it. Especially the Orioles, unless they really believe in going all in this year. I wouldn't do it if I'm the Orioles because I still feel personally I'm missing another guy. Besides, even if I get Ohtani, I still need another starter.
Yeah.
I don't trust it. I don't think you're gonna get. Oh my gosh, what's his name? John, the lefty, was an all-star. Had Tommy
But
John.
think about it this way, though.
John Means.
Yeah.
If there's only
I
a
knew who
couple
you were talking
teams
about.
that you think will even have a chance to get him, then that actually lowers Otani's value in terms of what you'd have to give up.
Not really. I think the Angels are comfortable with keeping him and making a playoff push once Trout comes back.
It's all going to depend on like this upcoming week how they play.
I also feel like the Angels could.
The Yankees kept them in the race.
I also feel like the Angels
Well,
could re-sign Ohtani. It's not like they
We're
couldn't.
keeping every team in
Yeah.
the race. We can't.
Yeah.
play.
The only teams we can really eliminate are the Royals, Tigers, Nationals, A's.
I wouldn't even count out the Tigers.
No, I would count.
They're
them.
only 6 games
No.
out of their own division.
Probably
No.
not,
Count them out.
unless they were like super.
Yeah, you can count the
aggressive.
Pirates.
The
Cardinals-
Angels' upcoming
Cardinals
schedule,
you
by the
count
way,
out 100%.
3 games against Pittsburgh, then 3 in Detroit,
Mhm.
and then which if they win those games, then maybe they keep Ohtani. But then after that, they have the gauntlet with Toronto, Atlanta, Seattle, and San Francisco.
Seattle is not trading for Otani.
Why not?
They're 5.5 games out of the wild card and 10 games out of their division. They're not going to risk giving up everything for a rental for a year. They're probably not even going to go anywhere.
I feel like they would. Do it.
Seattle is the last team that would trade for him.
Not really. I think they do it just because they want to jump head start to show Ohtani that he loves Seattle and the fan base. You saw the entire All-Star fans chanting Ohtani, come here during the All-Star game.
Come
So,
to Seattle.
yeah,
That was chills watching.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they would do it just to prove to him you would enjoy it here. We had other great Japanese icons, you know,
The question is, would the Angels even?
traded
You
in
know,
the division.
obviously, yeah, he
I
might
think they
not
would.
re-sign there, but there's always the risk that he could if he liked it.
I would do it. If you see a package that is worth doing that, that's why I despise the Nationals when they didn't trade Juan Soto to the Mets. Because I was like, you're being petty.
August is a
Yeah.
complete hellhole for the
And that-
Angels as well.
Yeah.
I
Atlanta,
can't see
Seattle,
them
San
trading him to
Francisco,
Seattle, though.
Houston.
Because, again, if you want to compete this year, if you trade Ohtani, you're not competing this year. But even if you are, you're trying to compete long-term. If you don't want him re-signing with Seattle and having to deal with them as well as teams like Texas and Houston that are going nowhere.
I think if I'm building a team, I want the best players in return for the best players. And if they give me the best players because they have great prospects, I'm taking it. Brian Woo's very good.
Do you think they trade Jared Kelnick if that happens?
I think they go Brian Woo and a bunch of other minor leaguers.
That's
Because
fair.
Brian Woo's been very solid for them. You could maybe see what's his name? Miller getting traded. He'll be gone.
Yeah.
Like they have upside pitching, which the Angels need. And on top of it, they have good young infielders.
It's always been the Angels' problem, though. It's always been pitching.
Yeah, so you get those 2 young pitchers who've been proven to have plus side. That's not a bad return. And I think that's something you potentially give up for Ohtani.
I can't see it. I can't see the Angels or the Seattle risking that.
They'll risk it.
No,
They've been
wait,
aggressive before. Traded for
Je-
Castillo last year.
Jerry DePoto will make some type of move. He always does. I mean, yeah, we saw Castillo last year, and among other moves, obviously
Carlos
made last year.
Santana.
Carlos Santana.
But they were already in a playoff spot.
They weren't guaranteed though.
They weren't guaranteed, but this year it's really looking like they're not going to make it.
We're halfway. We're a little over halfway. There's still
If
it
the
5 games?
Mariners can play great.
They're
ball
five
by
and a
the
half
deadline,
out with
they'll be
3
fine.
teams ahead of them
That's
to get to the third
That's
spot.
2 weeks of good baseball. You play 2 good weeks where you win 80% of your games. You're in it.
Yeah, you leapfrog us.
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
just think
saying.
I just think there's so many teams that are better than them, and they know this is not their year
But I
to
think
go
that
all in.
when
I
they
wouldn't
trade for
argue
Ohtani, they might think I'm going to be better. So that's why I see the positive for them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
that's where I kind of see that too.
You get Ohtani, that adds like 6 wins to your team immediately.
plus
He's
like
a
an extra
6.5 WAR, so that's statistically what it is.
plus an extra 15 home runs you didn't have.
Literally, and he loves the ballpark. Supposedly, like that seems like a match made in heaven. So Orioles, just because they have the prospect value and they're in first place right now in the AL East. On top of that, the Rays, second, really good record. They look like they're gonna make the playoffs, and the Mariners want to get a head start in free agency, and they can make a giant jump with him. I just see those three as the best fits. I don't see any other. Do you guys see any other teams that might take a chance besides the Yankees?
I mean, besides Toronto, I mean, maybe depending on, and again, I'm interested to even hear how you guys think. What about the Arizona Diamondbacks?
I don't think they do it. I think
I
they.
was thinking about that, but
I think they realized that they're a wonder team. That they were.
I mean,
For hot
Who
first half.
would they give up to even get him?
Alec Thomas.
Yeah, definitely Alec Thomas.
They have a bunch of.
They have a
Maybe-
bunch of good
Do
prospects.
they give up Drew Jones?
They might have to.
yeah,
I'd still giving up a
I
top
don't
15
know if
prospect
they-
for Otani.
yeah.
So the Angels are going to ask. You know, that asking price is going to be really steep.
Mm-hmm. But either way, I don't honestly. We're saying all these, and I don't think he gets traded. You
Most
know?
likely, he probably ends up staying with the Angels. But again,
Yeah, I don't think he'll
depends.
get out, but
depends.
you never know what
Never know.
happens in the next few weeks. And
They did say that there was a report that Otani's trade could go all the way to like the actual deadline day.
Oh
6
yeah, for
p.m.
sure.
Like, because there's no way it's because the Angels are not exactly out of it yet. So